Hello, you're kicking off the Tuesday's edition of QPVN English News Bulletin with Mlinchi and the headlines. Defense and Security Council discusses defense security diplomatic policies. Enhancing women's participation and gender equality in military. Vietnam-Laos strengthen diplomatic cooperation. The National Defense and Security Council 2021-2026 term convened its sixth session under the chair President Lương Cường, chairman of the council. The president saw the attendance of Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, and General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, among others. The Council discussed the world, regional and domestic situations affecting national defense, security and foreign affairs while assessing the implementation of defense and security tasks in recent times. President Lương Cường suggested in the upcoming term, relevant forces and agencies continue to closely follow and effectively implement the policies, guidelines and directives of the Politburo, the Secretariat, the National Assembly, the government, the direction of Party General Secretary Tô Lâm on national defense, security and foreign affairs, with a focus on effectively implementing the resolution of the 8th Plenum of the 13th Party Central Committee on the strategies for national defense in the new situation, meeting the requirements of safeguarding the independence, sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity of the fatherland. It is also necessary to continue to effectively carry out the streamlining and reorganization of apparatus in the armed forces to meet the task requirements in the new situation. The state president laid emphasis on the need to proactively grasp, study, analyze, evaluate, and accurately forecast the world, regional, and domestic situations in order to promptly advise the party and state on effective handling measures. On June 2nd, Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, chaired the May briefing conference of the General Department of the implementation of tasks in May and brought out key tasks for June. In May, party and political work throughout the military was carried out closely aligned with defense and military missions in a comprehensive and coordinated manner. Key highlights include proactive and timely dissemination of information and ideological guidance on complex and sensitive emerging issues, oversight and direction for military units to organize conferences summarizing 10 years of implementing the Politburo's Directive No. 5, deployment of the D0 mass education campaign within the military, and supervision of party congresses at all levels, ensuring compliance with principles and quality. For June, Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết emphasized the need to focus on political education and timely ideological orientation for officers, soldiers, and people. He called for continued efforts to counter and refute distorted and hostile viewpoints, to strengthen the development and popularization of legal education materials, and to raise discipline and legal compliance awareness throughout the military. Press and media agencies were asked to stay aligned with the guidelines of the party and state, intensify public communications that enhances awareness among troops and citizens. The D0 mass education movement must be actively promoted with practical effort, while the D0 transformation of party and political work must be accelerated with high determination. From May 31st to June 2nd, a delegation of the Ministry of National Defense led by Senior Lieutenant General Phạm Hoài Nam, Deputy Minister of National Defense, visited and worked in Serbia. On June 2nd, local time, Senior Lieutenant General Phạm Hoài Nam had a meeting with Mr. Nenad Milodorovic, Deputy Minister of National Defense of Serbia, in charge of equipment and technology. The two sides highly lauded the fruitful results of traditional multi-faceted cooperation between the two countries and agreed that the defense relationship is not commensurate with the potential and needs of the two countries. In the coming term, the two sides agreed to boost delegation exchanges at all levels, cooperation in training, defense, military, and other fields of mutual concerns, and towards signing a memorandum of understanding on defense cooperation between the two countries. Regarding defense military cooperation, the two leaders also introduced the defense military sectors of each side and agreed to increase exchanges and contact contacts between defense industry corporations. Senior Lieutenant General Phạm Hoài Nam agreed with the proposal of Serbian leader to study the signing of a memorandum of understanding on defense and industry cooperation as the basis for bolstering cooperative relations in the coming time. On June 2nd, at the Vietnam Department of Peacekeeping Operations, the opening ceremony of the training course on strengthening women's participation and gender equality in the military, co-hosted by Canada and Vietnam, was held. Senior Lieutenant General Phùng Sĩ Tấn, Deputy Chief of the General Staff, Deputy Head of the Intersectoral Working Group, and Deputy Head of the Ministry of National Defense Steering Committee on Participation in UN Peacekeeping Operations and Charter Affairs of the Canadian Embassy in Vietnam, co-hosted the opening ceremony. From June 2nd to the 6th, under the guidance of Canadian and Vietnamese lecturers, 40 trainees from Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam are provided with knowledge on the United Nations Security Council resolutions on the women, peace, and security agenda and issues related to human security, discussed and exchanged knowledge and experience on gender equality issues in conflict crisis, the impact of discrimination, gender stereotypes in national security and defense issues, gender-based analysis methods, and military planning tools with the participation of women. In particular, trainees and lecturers are given a chance to visit and directly exchange with officers of the Vietnam National Mark Action Center on the participation of women in task performance. The Training Committee of the General Staff recently held a session on combat features, training methods, and inspection of new weapons for 39 units in the whole military. Throughout the study and live fire exercises, training officers highly praised the quality of the new weapons and are ready to include them in training in units. These new weapons were researched and produced by the General Department of Defense Secretary. The training is key to standardizing methods for training and inspecting new weapons in the whole military, ensuring that when the weapons are deployed, trainers have mastered the knowledge to pass on to officers and soldiers. These new weapons have superior qualities, namely high accuracy, smoother operation, ease of use, and reflect the Vietnam People's Army's tradition of self-reliance. Using domestically produced guns offers many advantages and maximize their technical and tactical features. The organizers standardized all contents, including introduction methods, modules, and lesson plans. This forms the basis for training cadets who will become future soldier trainers. Theoretical weapon lessons are often uninteresting, but the organizers improved this by using electronic lectures with new contents and vivid images. We used high-resolution images and motion videos of the guns with the help from Factory Z111 of the General Department of Defense Secretary. We edited and compiled videos showing moving parts of the weapons, which were presented to the class. The training is an important foundation for agencies and units to organize combat-relevant training. Feedback from practical training will help improve and standardize new weapons and equipment. Coming up next, Vietnam-Laos strengthened diplomatic cooperation. Vietnamese student gains popularity in China. As part of his official visit to Vietnam, acting head of the Laos Party Central Committee's External Relations Commission, Boulua Phantomnovon, held formal talks with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Vietnam Bùi Thanh Sơn on the afternoon of June 2nd. Deputy Prime Minister Bùi Thanh Sơn emphasized that the visit holds significant importance, especially when both countries are actively preparing for their national political crisis, and Vietnam has recently completed the merger of its Ministry of Foreign Affairs with the party's Central External Relations Commission. Both sides praised the close cooperation between their respective external relations commissions in recent years and agreed to build on the strong foundation of the traditional friendship and strategic partnership. Vietnam's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Laos External Relations Commission affirmed the commitment to effectively implementing the outcomes of high-level agreements between the two parties and nations. They also reached consensus on jointly developing a cooperation agreement for the 2026-2030 period, closely coordinating preparations for upcoming high-level diplomatic activities and bilateral cooperation mechanisms, intensify information exchange and experience sharing in party building and national party congress preparations. Vietnam Airlines has recently launched a direct flight from Ho Chi Minh City to Denpasar, the tourism capital of Bali, Indonesia. That is the airline's second direct connection to Indonesia and marks a strategic step to expand its Southeast Asia network while meeting the increasing demand of tourists between the two countries. Speaking at the event, Vietnamese ambassador to Indonesia Tak Văn Thong emphasized that the opening of the Ho Chi Minh City Denpasar direct flight not only adds a new route, but also symbolizes the increasing connection, trust, and partnership between Vietnam and Indonesia. The airline will initially operate 4 weekly round-trip flights on Wednesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and Sundays. Starting in July 2025, the carrier plans to increase frequency to daily flights to meet rising demand. The opening of the Ho Chi Minh City-Bali direct flight route not only helps Vietnam Airlines expand its flight network in Southeast Asia, but also contributes to effectively tapping the potential of the passenger market between Vietnam and Indonesia. Recently, the durian market in Beijing has seen a sharp rise in demand during the peak harvest season from Southeast Asia. Although Vietnamese durian exports to China remain limited this season, Vietnamese durian is still making a mark in the vast Chinese market. At wholesale markets and supermarkets in China, durian sales in May rose nearly 40% compared to last year. Durians are attractively displayed with cutting instructions and ready-to-eat options, making it convenient for consumers. Once considered difficult-smelling, hard-to-eat fruit, durian is now highly sought after in China. It appears everywhere, from supermarkets and wholesale markets to milk tea shops, bakeries, and upscale restaurants. I really like durian. Eating it brings me happiness. Most Chinese people like durian, and my family does too. No matter how expensive, I still buy and eat it. Vietnamese durian is not widely exported to China due to a different harvest season compared to Thailand. However, it has made an impression and is increasingly loved by Chinese consumers. Vietnamese durian now has a large market in China. We hope that it will be grown more and that more Vietnamese durian will be sold here. It is a golden chance for Vietnamese durian to establish its brand in this promising market. Vietnamese authorities need to continue strict quality control at the source to support peak season exports. Đồng Tháp Province has six recognized smart villages in Đốc Bình Kiều Commune Tháp 10 District, Định Yến Commune Lấp Vò District, Bình Thạnh Commune Mỹ Sưng Commune, Cao Lãnh District, Tân Nhuận Đông Commune An Nhân Commune Châu Thành District. The smart village model is considered as the key step in the process of building digital government, developing digital economy, and forming digital society, creating many utilities on digital technology platform. The smart village model is equipped with a smart public lighting and security camera system. In agricultural production, it uses an environment monitoring system and an automatic irrigation system, where its plant is attached with a QR code to trace its origin. Security camera system is installed in the smart villages to ensure traffic safety and prevent any criminal acts. The formation of the smart village model aims to promote development and improve the living conditions of local people, develop sustainable production, and create high-value products, thus helping locals enjoy better utilities and social services. Through the recognition of the smart village model, the locality has seen positive changes. The Smart Villages database has also been digitized, thus allowing local people to promptly reflect the consumption and production activities. The Department of Science and Technology of Đồng Tháp Province is continuing to invest in developing the zero technology infrastructure, improving human resources and the zero skills in smart villages, while bolstering cooperation with relevant units to research and transfer practical technology solutions, focusing on production management, especially smart agricultural models to meet the practical needs of local people. It is the end of the latest news bulletin today. You can watch our news again at qpvn.vn. For now, goodbye and see you next time.